the city. It's a relentless current pulling you along. The endless hum of traffic, the flicker of screens, the concrete canyons that block out the sun. You're told this is progress, this is connection. But for some of us, it feels like a cage. Deep down, there's a different current pulling at you. A primal urge for something real, something you can touch, build, and defend. It's a longing for a freedom that isn't sold in glossy brochures or curated social media feeds. It's the gritty, dirt under your fingernails kind of independence that comes from carving out your own existence on your own terms. This isn't about escaping life, it's about finding it. And I'm here to tell you that even now, in 2026, that dream is not some forgotten relic. Out in the vast, quiet expanses of America, there are still places where the land is raw, the rules are few, and a plot to call your own can be had for less than $10,000. These aren't manicured estates or turnkey retreats. They are blank canvases of dirt and sky, places that demand sweat, resilience, and a stubborn belief in self-reliance. They are the last frontiers of personal sovereignty. Our journey today will take us to 10 such places. We'll be ranking them based on a simple, powerful set of criteria: affordability, how much land your money actually buys, off-grid friendliness, the freedom from restrictive codes and regulations, and finally, livability, the potential to not just survive, but to truly build a life considering factors like water, climate, and community. The hunt is on. Our first stop is a place whispered about in off-grid circles like a secret fishing spot. Cochise County, Arizona. This isn't just land, it's a statement. Down here in the high desert, under a sun that feels ancient and powerful, the rules that strangle so much of the country seem to loosen their grip. The air itself feels different, charged with a spirit of fierce independence, a legacy of the gunslingers and prospectors who once roamed these same valleys. The primary lure here is the county's famously relaxed zoning. They've seen it all, and they're not easily spooked by alternative building methods. Earthships, tiny homes, converted containers. If you can dream it and build it safely, you're likely to be met with a nod of understanding rather than a wall of red tape. This has cultivated a thriving, if scattered, community of like-minded souls. You might be miles from your nearest neighbor, but you're not truly alone. There's a shared knowledge here, a network of support built on mutual respect for self-sufficiency. Of course, this freedom comes with its own set of challenges, and the greatest of these is water. The sun that provides unparalleled solar potential also bakes the ground hard. You won't find bubbling brooks or city water mains out here. Your lifeline will be a truck and a tank, hauling water from nearby towns, or the more permanent and costly solution of drilling a well. It's a stark reminder that true independence means taking responsibility for your most basic needs. The landscape itself is a character in your story. It's a harsh beauty of creosote bush, distant mountain ranges shimmering in the heat, and a sky so vast it can feel overwhelming. This is not a gentle, forgiving place. It will test your resolve with scorching summers and surprisingly chilly winter nights. But the reward for that resilience is a silence so profound you can hear your own heartbeat, and a view of the cosmos untouched by city lights. For under $10,000, you're not just buying a few acres of dirt. You're buying into an ethos. You're purchasing a plot in a community of mavericks, homesteaders, and artists who came here seeking the same thing: the unmatched freedom to build a life from the ground up under the brilliant, unforgiving Arizona sun. It's a place that demands respect, but in return, it offers a level of autonomy that is becoming vanishingly rare. We travel north now, but stay within the magnetic pull of Arizona, to a place that takes the concept of getting away from it all to its logical extreme. Welcome to Apache County. This is the High Plateau, a vast, remote tableland sitting at over a mile in elevation. If Cochise County is a community of mavericks, this is the territory of the solitary hunter, the stargazer, the individual who finds comfort not in numbers, but in the sheer, undiluted scale of nature. The price of entry here is astonishingly low. For well under our $10,000 mark, you can acquire a parcel of land so large you might not see its edges from your front door. The reason for this is simple: remoteness. The paved roads give way to dirt. which then give way to faint tracks across the sagebrush. This is not a place you stumble upon, it's a destination you seek out with intent. The lack of infrastructure is precisely what keeps the prices and the population so low. Here, the rulebook is thin, almost non-existent in the most remote corners. Building codes are minimal, and the concept of a homeowners association is laughable. This is a kingdom of your own making, where the only inspector you'll likely see is a curious coyote, and the only noise complaint might come from a hawk circling overhead. Your nearest neighbor could be miles away, a distant plume of dust on the horizon. This is true unadulterated solitude. Life here is dictated by the elements. The high elevation means 4 distinct seasons, with warm, pleasant summers and cold, snowy winters. Water is, again, the critical challenge. Drilling a well is possible, but can be a deep and expensive proposition. Most residents rely on a combination of hauling water and sophisticated rainwater catchment systems. Self-sufficiency isn't a hobby here, it's the fundamental law of survival. You are your own mechanic, your own medic, your own power company. But the payoff for this rugged existence is a nightly spectacle that money cannot buy. Away from every city, every town, every stray streetlight, the sky explodes. The Milky Way isn't a faint smudge, it's a brilliant, textured river of light. The sheer number of stars is humbling, a powerful reminder of your place in the universe. In Apache County, you trade convenience for cosmos, neighbors for nebulae. It's a stark, demanding bargain, but for the right soul, it's the deal of a lifetime. We now cross the border into the land of enchantment, to a place where the earth is cheap and the sun is generous. Luna County, New Mexico. This is the raw material of the off-grid dream, sold by the acre at prices that feel like a throwback to a bygone era. Here, the barrier to entry isn't financial. It's a test of your imagination and your willingness to work. The land is so affordable that the question quickly becomes not if you can buy, but what you will do with it once you have. The defining characteristic of Luna County is its almost complete lack of restrictions. In many of the unincorporated areas, the phrase building code is met with a shrug. This is the Wild West in a modern sense, a place where you have the freedom to experiment, to fail, and to build according to your own vision, not a bureaucrat's checklist. This has made it a magnet for those on a shoestring budget, people who value the liberty to build a small, simple shelter now and expand later, as time and money allow. Water, the ghost that haunts every desert homesteader, is a familiar challenge here. The land is arid, a classic Chihuahuan desert landscape dotted with yucca and mesquite. Many parcels sit above aquifers, but the wells may be old, forgotten, or in need of revival. Others rely solely on hauling water from the nearby city of Deming. But the sun, that relentless desert force, is also your greatest ally, providing some of the best solar potential in the entire country. Your power is free for the taking, a daily dividend from the sky. What sets Luna County apart is the low competition. While other off-grid hotspots have seen prices creep up, Luna remains a buyer's market. Large tracts of land, 5, 10, even 20 acres, are regularly available for well under our $10,000 budget. There's a sense that you've arrived before the rush, that you're securing a foothold in a place that still has room to breathe. The landscape is flat, open, and ready for your imprint. This isn't a place of dramatic canyons or soaring peaks. Its beauty is more subtle. The smell of desert rain, the impossibly vibrant sunsets that paint the entire sky, the silence of the plains. It's a landscape that rewards patience and observation. For the pioneer who sees opportunity where others see emptiness, Luna County offers something incredibly precious, a cheap, unrestricted foundation upon which to build a life of absolute freedom. Our hunt now takes us north, climbing an elevation into the high-altitude desert of southern Colorado. This is Costilla County, specifically the vast San Luis Valley. It's a place of stunning contrasts, where the flat, sagebrush-covered valley floor sweeps up to the jagged, snow-capped peaks of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Here, the dream of an off-grid cabin isn't just possible, it's a common sight. Costilla County has become a well-known haven for homesteaders, thanks to a historically relaxed attitude toward alternative building. While rules have tightened slightly in recent years, it remains one of the more friendly counties in Colorado for those wanting to build something unconventional. Small cabins, A-frames, and other structures under a certain square footage often face a simpler permitting process. This practicality has fostered a robust community of builders and dreamers, drawn by the mountain views and the promise of a simpler life. The environment here is a powerful force. At 7,500 feet, the sun is intense and clear, making solar power incredibly effective. The growing season is short but potent, and the low humidity keeps the summer days pleasant. However, the flip side of this high-altitude living is the winter. It arrives early, hits hard, and stays late. Snow can be deep, and temperatures plummet. You don't just prepare for winter here, you arm yourself against it. It's a fundamental part of the lifestyle. The most complex puzzle to solve in Costilla County is water. Water rights in Colorado are a labyrinthine system of laws dating back over a century. Owning land doesn't automatically grant you the right to drill a well. Many subdivisions here have restrictions, and securing a well permit can be a difficult and expensive process. Many residents opt for cisterns and water hauling, a reliable, if laborious, solution. It's a critical piece of research you must do before buying. For under $10,000, you can find 5-acre parcels, often with road access and staggering views of Mount Blanca and the surrounding peaks. You're buying a slice of the Rocky Mountain dream, albeit a rugged, untamed version of it. It's a place that demands resilience to the cold and patience with bureaucracy. But the reward is 4 glorious seasons in one of the most beautiful valleys in the country, with a community of hardy folk who understand the challenges and triumphs of high-altitude homesteading. We head south again, deep into the heart of Texas, or rather, to its far western edge. This is Hudspeth County, a place that embodies the legendary Texan spirit of independence. This is big country, big sky, big tracts of land, and a big, bold declaration of freedom from oversight. If your primary goal is to be left alone, to build what you want, how you want, with no one looking over your shoulder, then this might be your final destination. The single most compelling feature of Hudspeth County is the almost total absence of zoning laws and building codes in its unincorporated areas. This is not an exaggeration. For vast swaths of this county, there is no permitting process for a single-family home. You buy the land, you build your house. It is a level of freedom that is nearly impossible to find anywhere else in the United States. It is the ultimate blank slate, a place that puts all the power and all the responsibility squarely in your hands. This liberty is born of emptiness. Hudspeth County is one of the most sparsely populated counties in the nation. You can buy 10, 20, even 40 acres for under our $10,000 budget, and your nearest neighbor might be a distant shimmer of heat on the horizon. The landscape is classic Chihuahuan desert, vast, rugged, and unforgiving. It's a place of stark beauty, where the silence is a physical presence, and the horizon seems to stretch on forever. Water is the apex predator in this environment. It is scarce, and it is precious. Groundwater can be very deep, making drilling a well an expensive gamble. There are no rivers, no lakes. The lifeblood of a homestead here is rainwater. Large-scale rainwater collection and storage, known as catchment, isn't just a good idea. It is the only viable long-term strategy. Your survival is directly tied to your ability to harvest and conserve every drop that falls from the sky. Living here requires a deep and abiding self-reliance. When the nearest town is an hour away down a rough dirt road, you learn to be your own handyman, your own mechanic, your own first responder. But for those who crave this level of autonomy, Hudspeth County is a paradise. It's the chance to own a substantial piece of Texas, to live under a sky bursting with stars, and to exist with a freedom so profound it's almost startling. It's not for the faint of heart, but it is the last frontier for the true individualist. Leaving the arid deserts behind, our journey takes us into a landscape of rolling hills, dense hardwood forests, and an abundance of the one resource we found so scarce: water. We're in the Missouri Ozarks, looking at counties like Shannon, Douglas, and Ozark. This is a different kind of off-grid living. less about surviving the elements and more about working with them. This is the homesteader's heartland. The appeal here is a potent combination of affordability and abundance. For under $10,000, you can find forested tracts of land, often with a creek or spring bubbling up right on the property. The soil is rocky but can be amended for gardening, and the plentiful rainfall means you're not constantly battling drought. The culture here is deeply rooted in self-sufficiency, a tradition passed down through generations. Living off the land isn't a new trend, it's just the way things are done. Zoning is refreshingly flexible. While not a complete free-for-all like parts of Texas, many of these rural counties have very few restrictions on building, especially for smaller cabins or agricultural structures. There's an understanding and respect for the homesteading lifestyle. Your neighbors are more likely to be interested in your new chicken coop or the progress of your garden than the type of siding you're using on your cabin. It's a community built on practical skills and shared values. This is a four-season environment, and you feel every one of them. The summers are hot and humid, buzzing with life. The autumns are a spectacular explosion of color across the hills. Winters are cold, with occasional snow and ice, and spring brings thunderstorms and a green so vibrant it almost hurts the eyes. This rhythm of the seasons dictates the pace of life: gardening, preserving, cutting firewood, and preparing for the cold. The challenges here are different from the desert. You'll contend with humidity, a plethora of insects, and the constant work of clearing and maintaining forested land. But the rewards are immense. The ability to hunt on your own property, fish in a nearby river, grow a significant portion of your own food, and have a reliable water source creates a deep sense of security and connection to the land. This is a place where a small investment can yield a rich, sustainable, and deeply rewarding life. We return to Arizona, drawn back by its potent mix of sun and freedom. But this time we're in Mohave County, a vast and varied territory that offers something of a middle ground. It's a place that strikes a delicate balance between the extreme remoteness of Apache County and the more developed communities of Cochise. Here, you can find true solitude without being completely cut off from civilization. Mohave County is enormous, stretching from the Grand Canyon down to the Californian border. This sheer size creates a wide variety of landscapes and opportunities. You can find parcels in the high juniper-dotted plains near Kingman or starkly beautiful desert lots closer to the Colorado River. The common thread is affordability and minimal restrictions. 5-acre parcels for under $10,000 are plentiful, offering a canvas of dramatic red rock scenery and wide-open skies. The off-grid scene here is well-established and growing. Places like the Dolan Springs area have become popular hubs for people seeking a self-sufficient lifestyle. This means there's a valuable knowledge base to tap into. Need advice on a solar setup? Want to find the best place to have water delivered? Chances are your neighbor has already figured it out. This blend of independence and community support can be a powerful asset, especially for those just starting out. Like all of Arizona, water and heat are the primary considerations. Summers can be brutally hot, especially at lower elevations, making shade, insulation, and a reliable cooling strategy essential. Water is typically hauled or delivered, with most homesteads relying on large storage tanks. The upside is the relentless sun, which provides an endless supply of power for a well-designed solar system. You learn to live by the sun, conserving energy during cloudy spells and making the most of its peak power. What makes Mohave County so appealing is this balance. You can be on your remote 5-acre plot, feeling like you're a world away from everything, yet the amenities of a city like Kingman, or even Las Vegas, are often just an hour or two's drive away. This allows for a level of flexibility that's hard to find elsewhere. You can have your solitude and still make a supply run to a major hardware store. It's the frontier, but with a lifeline back to the modern world. Our trail leads us back to New Mexico, but this time to its very heart. We're exploring the high desert plains of Torrance and Valencia counties. These areas represent a sweet spot for the aspiring off-gridder land that is cheap, unrestricted, and surprisingly close to the state's largest metropolitan area, Albuquerque. It's the wild, but with a backdoor to the city. The primary draw here is the potent combination of price and freedom. You can find 5 or 10-acre parcels for well under our budget, often in areas with no zoning or building codes to speak of. This is classic unrestricted New Mexico land. The terrain varies from flat grasslands perfect for a simple homestead to rolling hills dotted with piñon and juniper, offering more privacy and character. The choice is yours, and the prices remain consistently low across the board. Proximity to Albuquerque is the game changer. While you can be on a parcel of land that feels completely isolated, a 1-hour drive can put you in the middle of a city with an international airport, major hospitals, and every supply store you could possibly need. This accessibility lowers the barrier to entry significantly. It makes the transition to an off-grid life less of a sudden leap and more of a gradual process. You can build your homestead on the weekends while still holding down a job in the city. As with most of New Mexico, the climate is a major asset. The high desert environment means 4 mild seasons, low humidity, and over 300 days of sunshine a year. This makes for excellent solar potential and a pleasant year-round living experience. Water is the usual puzzle to be solved, with most residents relying on a combination of well drilling where feasible, water hauling, and rainwater catchment. The established presence of off-gridders in the area means services for water delivery are readily available. This isn't the dramatic picture postcard scenery of Colorado or the extreme emptiness of West Texas. It's a more subtle, working landscape, but it offers a practical, achievable path to independence. For those who want the freedom and satisfaction of building their own world from scratch, but also need or want to remain connected to the modern economy, the lands of Torrance and Valencia counties offer an almost perfect compromise. It's the accessible wild. For our runner-up, we venture to the edge of the map, to a place of profound and intimidating beauty, Presidio County, Texas. This is the Big Bend region, a land of vast desert expanses, rugged mountains, and a silence that is absolute. If Hudspeth County is the frontier, Presidio is what lies beyond it. This is not a place for the dabbler. It is a destination for the purist seeking the ultimate escape. The sheer scale of this place is difficult to comprehend. For under $10,000, you are not buying 5 or 10 acres. You are often buying 20, 40, or even more. The land is cheap because it is among the most remote and challenging in the lower 48 states. There are no building codes, no zoning, no inspectors. The only laws are the laws of nature, and they are enforced without mercy. Your freedom here is as vast and untamed as the landscape itself. This is a place that attracts a certain kind of person. Artists, writers, thinkers, and recluses who are drawn to the stark, minimalist beauty and the profound isolation. The nearby towns of Marfa and Terlingua are oases of quirky, artistic culture in the middle of the Chihuahuan desert, but your homestead will be miles from anywhere, a tiny speck in a colossal landscape. This is a place to get lost, literally and figuratively, and to find something new in the process. The singular, overwhelming challenge is water. It is the ghost that haunts this entire region. Groundwater is incredibly deep and often non-existent. There are no reliable rivers. Life here is a masterclass in water harvesting. Every structure is designed to maximize rainwater catchment. Every activity is measured in the gallons it consumes. To live here is to become a student of the desert, to learn its rhythms of drought and rare precious rain. This is not an easy life. The summer heat is intense, the resources are scarce, and help is a very long way away. But the reward is a connection to a landscape so powerful it feels spiritual. It's watching a thunderstorm roll across 100 miles of open desert, seeing a night sky so clear it feels like you can reach out and touch the stars, and experiencing a solitude so complete it allows for total self-reflection. Presidio County offers a chance to own a massive piece of the American wilderness, a kingdom of dirt and sky, and we've reached our final destination, the top of our list. We return to the high country of Colorado, to Saguache and Park counties. These places represent the pinnacle of what many people are searching for. Affordable land, stunning mountain scenery, a supportive community, and a realistic path to an off-grid life. This is the Alpine dream, made accessible. These counties offer a similar high-altitude environment to Costilla, but often with better access and more established communities. In places like the South Park Basin in Park County, you're in a vast, beautiful valley surrounded by 14,000-foot peaks. For well under $10,000, you can still find 5-acre parcels that feel remote, yet are often just a short drive from charming mountain towns like Fairplay or Buena Vista. Saguache offers a similar feel, with a slightly more remote and spiritual vibe. The rules here strike a balance between freedom and responsibility. While they are more relaxed than in the Front Range counties, they are not a complete free-for-all. There's an expectation that you will build responsibly and with respect for the fragile Alpine environment. This has fostered a healthy, thriving community of homesteaders, retirees, and adventurers who help each other navigate the permitting process and share tips on high-altitude building and gardening. The environment is both the main attraction and the greatest challenge. The summers are glorious. Warm, sunny days, cool nights, and endless opportunities for hiking, fishing, and exploring. But winter is a serious affair. At 9,000 or 10,000 feet, the snow is deep, the winds are fierce, and the cold is biting. A life here requires a deep respect for winter and thorough preparation. A well-insulated home, a reliable heat source, and a 4-wheel drive vehicle are not optional. Water access varies, with some areas having well drilling rights and others requiring cisterns and hauling, but the infrastructure to support this is well established. The sun is a powerful ally for solar energy. What truly sets these counties apart is the combination of all these factors: the achievable land prices, the jaw-dropping beauty, the 4-season lifestyle, and the strong sense of community. It's the complete package. It's challenging, yes, but it's a challenge that comes with the ultimate reward: a sustainable, independent life in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. So there you have it. 10 places where the American dream of land and liberty is still alive and kicking. But it's crucial to understand what $10,000 buys you. It buys you the dirt, the foundation, the view. It does not buy you the lifestyle. That part is forged in sweat and financed with further investment in infrastructure: the well or the water tank, the solar panels, the septic system, the shelter itself. The land is just the price of admission to the arena. The real work begins once you step inside. This list is a starting point, a map to a hidden treasure. But maps get old, listings change, zoning laws are rewritten, and new opportunities emerge. Your real work starts now with the meticulous research. Get on the real estate sites. Call the county planning and zoning department and ask the hard questions. Talk to the locals. Verify everything. Don't fall in love with a picture. Fall in love with a viable plan. The challenges are real: the isolation, the hard physical labor, the unforgiving elements, but they are dwarfed by the reward. That reward is a life of your own making. It's the deep satisfaction of drinking water you collected, using power you generated, and sleeping under a roof you built with your own hands. It's a quiet confidence that can't be bought or sold. It's true independence. Your off-grid chapter starts with one search, one call, one signature. What's your first move? The desert is waiting.